few more staples in it than that, or do you care?
No, that should be fine. All we have to do is keep it in place. Don't staple it yet, please.
We need to cut skirts out so it fits down in.
Right phone. So for the garage door bucks, for one thing, we were running out of the fox bucking, and I thought that it would be a good idea to have something a little bit more substantial to hold the garage door. And we were going to use 2x12s. They would have fleshed out perfectly with the wall. The problem is the pressure treated 2x12s, they're so damn wet, they shrink so much that I'm afraid they would like warp and everything else. So I saw this on the foxblock training videos about how to make these bucks. And you take treated wood, you strip, this is a 2x6 that we have ripped at an angle and then flipped it to where we have a dovetail. Then the concrete will pour, this will go up against the styrofoam, the concrete will pour into here and lock all of this in so that this can't fall off, and you don't have a single plane that air can blow in, because it'll blow in, hit the concrete, and have to go around. And then this will keep the concrete off of the Vantech so that it won't soak up any water during pour day or any time thereafter through capillary action of any moisture inside the concrete. This will try to keep it out of that. We're going to coat the bottom of this with some Prosico. If I had any, I'd probably put a sheet of either PVC trim or what do they call that deck board? That's the plastic deck board. What do they call the plastic deck board? Trex.
Yeah.
Put a piece of Trex on the bottom of it and cut it to the right size, you know, something just so that when we pour the floor will come right up to the bottom edge of this, and that would have kept the wood off of the concrete. I think if we just coat it in Prosico, we'll be fine, and it'll keep water from sucking up into the end grain. So then we'll make one of these for each side, and across the top. The top one will actually come all the way over. So we have 3 more of these to do and 2 tops to do, and then we'll go cut our holes and put them in the wall. We're doing 8 by 10 foot doors, so this is right at 8 foot. Then the other one will sit on top of it, and so it'll be 10'4" to account for 2 1/4 inches on each side. 4.5, 10'4.5", 10'4.5", and so it'll,
Don't forget the half inch.
Don't forget the half inch. Every half inch is important. And so that will let us have a 10-foot opening. And the openings on a garage door, from what I have read and learned, can be slightly smaller than what they need to be, but they don't want to be slightly bigger. So the garage door actually sets inside of when it closes the wall. And if it's slightly smaller, then you just cover a tiny bit more of your garage door, and it's not that big a deal. If it's bigger, then your garage door won't hit your wall, and you'll have an air gap and everything else. So slightly smaller is fine, like 1/4 inch, half inch. Slightly bigger, not fine. Your garage door will be hanging off the ground. Gap at the top, gap at the sides, gaps everywhere. Gap in your teeth.
Not the
Okay.
time to shop at.
What?
Not the place to shop at.
The Gap. Let's go to the Gap today. Okay.
You know what those are measured?
What?
You know what the measurement on that is?
The king.
How many of those do you have to make?
4 that size and 2 longer ones.
Okay.
See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
2 garage doors. 2, not 4, 2.
Takes 4 pieces. Per door. On those.
Ah.
Then we'll have to slide it down because we didn't plan very good. We're working on getting the measurements done for the holes for the bucks that we just made to go on. I'll go. Okay, tool of the week is the rotary hammer in demolition mode. So when we poured these, we got it a little high. I wanted this to be at the level of the bottom of the slab. So when the slab comes over, it would pour and sit on top of this. And then we'll bend the rebar over into the slab. But as we were trying to get everything done for the foundation, we got high in a couple of spots just because the pumper truck was in its ending throes of trying to get the last of the concrete out. So it was not very smooth. Anyway, this was about 6 inches, 8 inches too high. We came in and we drilled a series of holes horizontally that was on our line, and then came back with our demo bit. This one's fun. And it's just a chisel point that if you don't have it on rotate, it gets stuck really fast. But you just take it on rotate and dig it in there and pull the trigger, and it just digs into the concrete and finally splits it. So it's coming out in pretty good chunks, which is nice. And leaving our rebar. If we would have cut it, it would have been a lot harder. We'd have had to rent a saw. I don't know if it would have been a lot harder. This isn't easy, but it's not horrible. But going sideways with that saw, if it would have kicked back, it could have been pretty dangerous. I don't know, I haven't run one enough, but I've heard that they can kick back really bad. So we thought we'd try this, and this took us all of what, 30 minutes maybe? 30 minutes so far, so not bad. We're gonna rip this part off and get going. could have helped a bit. Oh, it's still on the rebar.
I like to play for the video. Get it stuck.
We'll get it stuck. We'll get it stuck in the hole. Voila. A fairly smooth transition, cut, whatever you call it. Yes. A quick bed for the win.